Stop very down. Oh. Oh, man, they've done wrong. Hello everybody, my name's Anita North. I've been invited here today to Oxford Gun Company by Dave, my friend from a long time ago, from David Florent, to come and talk to a young lady who he thinks I should meet and have a little chat with. So I have been competing for Great Britain and England for about close on 20 years. I retired from international competing last year. But for the last 3 years, I've been building a career as a shooting coach. And end of last year, I got my ISSFB license. I'm currently working with British Shooting's Pathway on regional shooting schools at Hampshire Shooting Ground and at Griffin Lloyd Shooting Ground. The Pathway is growing. We're trying to get more people involved with the Olympic disciplines. That's my real passion in life. But yes, David contacted me and said he thought it'd be a really good idea if I came along today. So lovely to meet you. Hello, what's your name?
Philippa.
Hi, Philippa. So why do you think David's asked me to come and have a chat with you?
I think David's asked you to come have a chat with me is because of how I really want to try and progress my shooting as far as I can and try and get as far as I can like you have and get to the Commonwealth Games and maybe even in the Olympics and as far as I can go with everything that I love to do here.
So how long have you been shooting?
I've been shooting since about August last year and I started in the TSC novice days here and then it just grew from that.
Yeah. Are you really enjoying it?
Yeah, it's something that it's my passion and I don't know what I would do without it. I'd just be sat at home doing basically nothing and this has just brought so much life and energy into my world and it's just so great to do.
And I hate to ask this, but how old are you?
I'm 12 and I started when I was 11 last year.
Right, okay. I didn't even pick up a shotgun until I was, I don't know whether I should admit this, till I was at least about 25, 26 years old.
Like when I first started, I went into the gun shop and first met David. I was like too scared. I was just going to be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to touch that. Yeah. I'm staying away. But now it's just everything that I want to do and it's everything that I love to do. Yeah. So I don't know what I'd do if I just didn't pick up that gun and didn't come on that first novice day in the start.
It's amazing, isn't it, when you try something and it's completely out of your normal comfort zone? Isn't it worth really sort of pushing yourself out there a little bit?
Because I never thought shooting could be something like this. I never thought I'd find it like so fun and so interesting. Yeah. Because I've always heard of my gramps and dad doing it and I never thought it'd be something that I would be interested into. Yeah. But once I've dug into it and found so many amazing shooters like yourself and it's just amazing experience to do all round. Yeah.
So what is it that really gives you that you really, really love about shooting? Is there one particular thing?
It's just really the energy and like the vibe you get around the shooting ground and the like pleasure of being able to hit the clay and getting a good score and pleasing yourself and showing yourself that you are capable of doing something that you're out of your comfort zone doing. Yeah.
And I don't know what it was like for you, but when I started shooting, there weren't that many women around, but now there's a lot more. Loads, yeah.
And it's just so many inspirational people out there like yourself and Amber and everybody out there. It's just so inspirational to see and it's just a world that's come so far now and I can't wait to be part of it.
Have you met any of the GB shooters?
See, I was lucky enough in January sort of time, I got to go have a nice shoot with Amber and obviously I'm meeting yourself. Yeah. So it's just been such a surreal experience to be able to do and be part of.
Yeah. So when you went and shot with Amber, did you try Olympic skeet?
Yeah, I did. I did try Olympic skeet down at EJ Churchill's and I found it so amazing. It was so different to what I'd normally do here at sporting. Yeah. It's just so much more fast paced and so thrilling and just, it was so fun to try out and do and I now love doing it.
So when you first got into shooting, did you realise that there were all these different forms?
No, I didn't. Because I've only really seen my grandparents and my dad do game shooting, but a whole other world that you didn't know existed and just being able to do everything apart with it, it's just amazing.
It is, isn't it? It's really good fun. I think I've been really lucky with it. I don't know about you, I get very competitive.
Yeah, extremely.
Not necessarily against other people, but against myself. Do you
see? Me and my dad always have these little competitions because my dad likes to say he's a bit better than me, which really in reality he's not. Yeah. And we just have always these little competitions and it's always something that I look forward to. And also I like to try and compete against myself, like you said, trying to keep on getting that score up or continuing that score on a level that I'm happy with.
So we're gonna have a look at your shooting, and that's part of the point we're coming to. But you have to actually be set up, don't you? I don't know about you, but I actually quite like to feel like a little bit smart, and I think my personality, I like to portray that in my clothing. So has it been difficult for you to find the right sort of clothing, the right sort of kit for you to use when you're shooting?
See, not really, because like I love this ceiling vest. It's like actually got so nice colours. Like it's not just your average browns, tweeds, greens, and it's more colourful. And obviously I'm a bold person. I love like a red t-shirt or like something that stands out, and it hasn't completely been like hard to find all of that in the shooting world, which I completely thought was just like greens and browns and tweed.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like to see you've got it like fairly simple there. You haven't got loads of layers on. You're not sort of completely crowded up. You feel as if it allows you to move?
Yeah, definitely, because I like a very thin top underneath my ski vest, so it gives me more movement to room, because I barely ever shoot in like a button-up shirt because of like the movement on the arms. But it's been like so easy to just find clothing that's comfortable and easy to shoot in.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I must admit though, I tend to go around and I like find things that I really like, and then I get several things of them, several the same. So I like to have. Can I ask you a question? Have you got a shooting kit, a bag? You've got like a kit bag?
Definitely, I've got like this huge bag. It's like completely huge, and it's just got everything I need. It's even got like cleaning stuff and cloths and my glasses, and my cartridges, and just everything I need in there. And it just always comes around with me. I haven't got it in my arm right now, but it's actually just like huge, and it just completely carries everything that I need. It's just been so easy to just then carry it from A to B around the shooting ground.
Yep. You definitely have to have a kit bag, and
definitely.
I have certain things that I have in there. Yeah. I'm even down to the sort of shoes that I have to wear, and there's like and I always like to wear a hat, so I make sure that there's a hat in there, and all those sorts of things. But yeah, so a little bit more about your shooting. So you said you've been coming along here, so you've been working with a coach?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to have David as my coach, and just there to always help me in a bit of information or support that I need on shooting and increasing the scores that I need. And like I shoot here a lot, but also it's like really nice to be able to go out to different places. Like most Thursday nights I go out to EJ's and with a couple like friends and shooting fellow people, and I get a lot of like comments around there, and there's different people, and you meet so many different people that have so many different advice that then you use yourself, and it helps so much towards your shooting and scores.
So how can I help you today? Is there any questions that you've got for me?
Just like one question that's always like I've had for you is just how did you do it? Like how did you get so far and make such a great career of shooting?
Basically it started out because it was like you've been talking about, it was a passion of mine. So I decided that I was going to try and do as much as I could. It took me quite a long time. I finally learned to train properly. I found as I developed, I worked with certain coaches all the way through my career, and that was like really important to me. But the most important person that I learned to get to know was myself. The biggest thing I can say to you though is get planning. Get used to writing and get planning. One essential piece of my shooting kit, and I don't know whether you've got it, is a journal.
Yeah, through the academy we get given a journal. We write down everything that we do and all the shooting stuff we do, and then like we have tips and then different things that we should get better on, and goals for the end of months.
Goals and objectives and a plan is absolutely what you need, because that big goal, if you've got a goal of like you want the Olympic gold, it's a little bit like there's an old saying that says, how do you eat an elephant? One mouthful at a time. So you basically take that big plan, that big objective, that big goal, and break it down so that every time that you go out to shoot, you're going out with a purpose. It's a lesson for today now, and that's whether you're actually going out there and working with a coach or working by yourself. And that was one of the things that I learned to do, was to do that. So it would be going out and not just pulling the trigger. There are times when you go out and you're going out for fun and you do it as a social thing. But if you are training, then you're going out and doing it with purpose. You're going out and a little lesson learned. And one thing to definitely write down is it's not all about numbers. A training session isn't necessarily about the end result. When it comes to competition, that's a different matter. But it's also about the lesson that you've learned. It's the objective for the day and whether you've actually accomplished that. And that could be going out and testing something different. It could be testing out, eating a different different sort of food, eating in a different pattern, to mixing that in with your shooting, and right, that doesn't work. So it's not going to work if I go out and have a big fried breakfast just before I go out and shoot. It could be something like that, or it could be I'm going to go out and I'm going to try shooting this sort of targets in a different way, or I'm going to try different glasses. So you could be going in, so part of it would be what you could conceive as like a fail, but it's actually, that could be the biggest lesson and the most valuable lesson that you can have. And you also need to record some of your feelings as well, because what's going on in your brain is a big part of shooting. We almost learn to meditate, but the biggest thing that you can do now, and you're still very young, is you set out, and it's like you have lesson plans at school. You do that with your shooting, and you bring some of that over into your shooting, and you start to become a consummate professional. So that is really how I learned to do it. Was I took some of those skills I had from work, because I was also working as well, and to bring them in. And it's never give up, never surrender. Just keep going and keep plugging on.
Completely.
And be nice to yourself and get to like yourself. Anything else?
Like, how do you keep like self-motivation of how like to keep yourself happy and get to know yourself, really?
The motivation was having the right kind of goals. For me personally, it was not doing too much training, not doing too much competing, because I learned that you can get tired. There are also, it was doing things like working on, I'm not the most athletic person, but trust me, there's some fitness in there. And when I was competing a lot, I would be going and doing gym work. So it was working on something so that every day I was doing something that was going to help contribute towards my shooting. So it's always, even down to, the clothing choices that I got. If I was going out and buying new clothes, I want to make sure, right, can I shoot in this? Does it feel comfortable? Do I like the look of it? Does it make me feel good? Because if I feel good and if I feel smart, it makes you feel good, and it's making you stand a little bit taller and feel like a little bit more sort of ownership, and you feel like a champion. That's what you got to do. You got to start to think like a champion. So I did some reading. Do you like reading?
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good, because there are some things that you can get out there and read that can sort of help you and keep you motivated. And it's going out and finding some inspirational stories as well, because there are people that are in other sports that if you get an opportunity to meet them, it can. And I've been very lucky to meet some really great people. I've met. Have you heard of Kelly Southerton?
Yeah.
So she's really great. I had a chance to meet her, and she said the biggest thing that she did in her competing was that she learned that she was actually the CEO of herself. She's the one that's in charge. So you have a coach. It's not always necessarily the coach that is directing and telling you to do this, that, don't do this, don't do that. It's a two-way thing. You learn to like be the manager as well. So as you develop, the relationship will change, and you'll become like, but it's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else wants you to do. It's what you want and need to do. They can do it with guidance, but you will learn that you will be wanting to do things because you've got to have that hunger for it. You have to stay hungry. So it's finding the right level of shooting. So you might find you need to do a little bit more shooting, or you might find you need to do a little bit less. And that could also vary around competitions, because you might want to you might want to iron out something, get your head sorted out before a big competition, or actually you might just want to say, right, I'm going to do a little bit, my head's in a great place, I'm going to hold it, and you're going to save something for competition. So sometimes it can be sort of like it's quite a long time, and as you go and do more and more shooting, but trust me, I did a lot of shooting in the early days. But then I did learn to train properly, and I was very, very lucky to work with some great coaches and to have great mentors as well that are helping. And you will get to meet some really great people as you develop in your shooting. So yeah, it's find it within yourself and trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Anything else? Should we go and have a look at your shooting then? And I'm quite interested to have a look at this.